way to start the shit. Hello everybody and welcome to today's video, and we are going to be talking about E3. We got Casey here. And this year's E3 just wrapped up yesterday, so that's what we're going to talk about. So we've divided it up in different ways. We're talking about Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, each conference separately. Even though the conferences happened a couple days ago, we wanted to wait in case anything else got announced. So, do you want to start off, Casey?
I didn't start my thing yet.
Okay. Well, you start your shit, then we can go.
Hello everybody, this is the Dog, aka Black Andre, aka DH313 Gaming. Here to talk about the E3 conferences and how they played out. So Nintendo, PS4, and Xbox are the three things we're going to talk about. And we also got Curtis here.
Yes. Yes.
So
yeah. You got something you gonna say first? Okay, I got you. Right now. Listen, we're gonna start off, before we get into this shit, make sure you go down to the description, and we have a new member of the ECM. Trevon joined it. He's doing YouTube himself now, so make sure you go check the links down below. They've been there for a while, but I didn't address them until just now. So let's get into this. Let's start off with Xbox. The one that we like the least. I'm not a big fan of Xbox. I have my issues with it when I had my 360. And yeah. Now, first of all, I do want to give them some credit for the first two things that I want to mention. First of all, the Xbox One S. That is a pretty cool thing. I like the way that they improved the system, made it better. And the other thing that I think is interesting is the Project Scorpion, or Scorpio, whatever the hell it's called. They announced that it's supposed to be sort of like a console response to the PC gaming. Something along that line. That's what I got out of it. So it seems pretty interesting. And I think that's coming next year. And the last thing about Xbox that I want to touch on is the Forza Horizon 3. That game, all the Forza games are pretty cool. So that game looks like it will be pretty cool as well.
I haven't seen much on the new system. I didn't really care to watch anything for Xbox, but since what you're saying about it seems pretty cool, I am going to go and check that out after this video. I didn't do my research on it, but Forza Horizon, yes, I do think that's a pretty interesting title as well. They should release for the PS4, but they're not going to.
Well,
so,
because that's Xbox, we got Gran Turismo.
Yeah, sadly.
But the new Gran Turismo could be pretty cool. That was not announced at E3, guys, but just throwing it out there. Up next, we do have the PlayStation, which is what we're playing on right now, and PlayStation 4, probably my favorite console that I've ever played on, which is pretty big considering what I've played on. But the first thing I want to touch on is the PlayStation VR. Now, this thing had been announced for a while, but they had officially announced that it was coming out, and the price of it being $600. It's pretty expensive for something that's pretty new like that, so I wouldn't buy it right away. And also, it's difficult to run, especially for me or for Casey, because you need a really big space and really open, and I don't have that in my studio, even though it's a pretty big room, because I got a table and a desk and a shelf. So you really need a big open space for virtual reality. So what is your thoughts about that, Casey?
Yeah, I definitely don't have anything for that. So,
yeah.
However, I do think that at one point, I'll be able to make room for the PlayStation VR if I ever do decide to get it, and it would be pretty cool.
When we get a place to make videos.
Is there any talk about if there is like multi-system connection, so like people on PS4 can connect with people on VR?
I'm not entirely sure about it. I didn't see if there's multiplayer. I was wondering that myself. I'm assuming that they probably would, because I don't see them making something for $600 and only you can play it by yourself. Now, continuing on with virtual reality, the game Farpoint, which is a virtual reality game, looked pretty cool. It's like a first-person shooter type game. It looked pretty cool. Well, obviously, if it's virtual reality, it's first-person, but yeah. It looked pretty cool. It's virtual reality only, I believe. But I think it looked pretty cool from what I've seen of it, the little trailer that I watched of it. It looked pretty cool type of game. And the last thing I want to touch on is, with the VR, people sort of expected them to announce the PlayStation 4K or PlayStation 4 Neo, or whatever the hell it's called, sort of similar to the Xbox One S, where it can support virtual reality and 4K gameplay, but that was not announced, which I thought was interesting because I was expecting it to be announced. So, what other games did you think looked interesting from PlayStation, Casey?
I did think that Resident Evil looked interesting on the PlayStation 4. I did, for the people who might not know, on my channel, which you guys aren't subscribed to, you should. I did do a Resident Evil demo gameplay, so there is that. And I was pretty interested because it's the first Resident Evil in first person. And for me, first person scary games make it a lot more ominous and a lot better. So I do want to see what they can do with that. And I'm hyped to know what's going to arise out of that series.
Great. And up next we have Nintendo, which used to be my favorite video game company. Back in the day, that was the first video games that I played, were Nintendo games. This year, they maybe didn't announce as much as Sony or Microsoft did, but they did deliver with the things they did announce. The first thing being the Legend of Zelda, I think it's like Breath of the Wind or something like that. That game, I sort of like Legend of Zelda games, but I'm pretty bad at them, so I don't typically buy them or play them. But it did look pretty cool, like most Legend of Zeldas do look, but I get stuck super easily and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why, it's not that difficult of a game, but some points can be, but either way, the game looked pretty cool, so there was that. But the game that we're gonna basically focus on is the Pokemon Sun and Moon. That game had already been announced, but they showed some more stuff of it, so I'll let Casey talk about that because that's like his favorite shit ever.
So they had released the starters before E3 was announcing that they'd have Pokemon Sun and Moon in there, but they had released new gameplay footage of it, and I believe they released three new Pokemon at E3 as well.
I think they announced 4 actually.
No, Magirno was already.
Oh, it was? Okay. They showed it off in the trailer, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it before, so for me it's new, guys. Don't give me hate. Pick and Peck or whatever the hell that one is, that's cool.
There's
Pick
also the new Zygarde form, which does sound pretty fucking cool. I do like
I'm gonna keep saying
Zygarde. But with this, it does seem like it has a lot more potential.
Zygarde anal penetration form. I'm done, guys. I'm retiring. Quitting YouTube right now. I'm done. Goodbye.
I do believe that there's also Pokemon Go coming out
Pick and Peck.
July
Pokemon Go. That game is going to be... That app is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to roast Casey at the game. I don't even know if you can. But either way, that game is going to be interesting as well. So once Casey finds out the date.
15th of July. So
if
you guys are hyped for that, there's that as well. I'm not going to be doing a gameplay because it's a real life thing. So,
but we might talk about it.
Yeah, we might talk about it a lot. That was it for Nintendo.
Well, there was one thing I wanted to say about Nintendo before we end it.
Oh.
Now, as I had said with the PlayStation, how people thought the PlayStation 4K or PlayStation Neo was going to be announced, people also thought that Nintendo was going to announce their new system. The NX is what it's called right now, but that did also not get announced, which I also thought was quite interesting about that. Okay, you can go now.
I did think that Nintendo overall did penetrate the competition, and definitely blew PS4 and Xbox One out of the water. Curtis,
I believe that they performed pretty well, because here's the thought about E3 this year. For PlayStation, they had nothing to lose. They have the best-selling console at the moment, and they're doing the best of all. So they had nothing to lose. They can come out there and not really do that much, which PlayStation really destroyed everybody at E3, along with Nintendo. They both did it really well. But they didn't have to do that much. Xbox, they're pretty well off as well. But Nintendo, as you guys know, recently have not performed as well as the other two companies. So they had to come out and give something big, and they did with Legend of Zelda, and showing off some of the gameplay from Pokemon Sun and Moon. And they performed quite nicely. Now, we're going to end off talking just about a couple of the other games that maybe they were at other conferences, or they'd already been announced, but we got to see more of it. So the first one we're going to talk about is two games that are getting DLCs that I thought were pretty cool. The Division is getting a DLC. I already talked about, I don't know if I actually said it on stream, but I said it to Casey before, how I like The Division, but I don't play it that often. It's sort of weird. It makes sense, but it's sort of weird. I like The Division, but it's not a game that I could play that much because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I like it, but it's sort of weird. That is a DLC. And also, as you guys see right now, I'm playing Fallout because they haven't two new DLCs for Fallout. There's like some Vault DLC and some other DLC coming for Fallout. So both of those games are getting DLCs later this year. Now, the game we're going to talk about the most, though, is Battlefield 1.
Yes. So, is that all we have to talk about?
That's what we had to talk about for that. They did have the Battlefield 1 gameplay, which did look pretty impressive. Overall, that was really cool. Some of the gameplay, that's going to be really fun. So when that comes out later this year, we'll have that for you guys. Also, the Ghost Recon Wildlands Tom Clancy game, that looked pretty cool. And I think that it would be cool. I don't think I would necessarily play it that much, so I'm probably not gonna get that.
You must be the main
and then the last thing is that people were talking a lot about how Rockstar wasn't there showing off what people thought would be Red Dead 3, but they didn't say they were going to be there at all, so that's obviously that. So I think to end it off, though, we should say what video games we were the most excited for this year, whether they were announced at E3 or not. So our top three.
Top three, I'd have to say, in order, Battlefield 4. Just because they got the collector's edition.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah, Battlefield 1, my bad. Pokemon, and then Resident Evil 7 in that order.
So, for me, I'm also excited for Battlefield 1, for Pokemon, but other games, two other ones that I think are interesting, both are racing games. Neither one was announced at E3. But the new NASCAR game is coming out. I'm excited about that because they haven't had a good NASCAR game since, like, forever. And also the new Gran Turismo looks like that's going to be pretty cool. So I did say 4, but 2 were racing games, so, you know. That's that. So those are the games I'm most excited about. You got to hear the games Case you're most excited about. So those are probably the games, except for Pokemon, because we don't play our DS on our YouTube channel. So besides our DS games, you'll probably see those games on our channel. So I think that's good. Then that's all we got to say.
Yes, thank y'all for watching. This is a little bit of a short video. But again, thank you for listening to our opinions. Love y'all.
Yes. Yes, that is very, very much true. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully some of you will actually be able to go to E3 instead of just sitting here talking about it after it's done. Make sure to check all the links down below. Like I said, Trevon started doing his YouTube now, so he's part of ECM as well. So make sure you go check out his stuff. Go subscribe to him, and also go subscribe to Casey. You know, he's in all, like, 90% of my videos, so y'all make sure you go subscribe to him as well. So thank you all for watching. See you guys in the next video.